Fatty liver is a prevalent issue often linked with diabetes. Often called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, it's one of the most common causes of chronic liver disease. Up to 85% of people with type 2 diabetes have fatty liver. But even without a diabetes diagnosis, people with insulin resistance have higher levels of liver fat, and it affects almost 2/3 of people with obesity. And ignoring it isn't an option. Untreated, it can progress to non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, cirrhosis, and liver failure. The good news is that fatty liver is not only 100% preventable, but it's also reversible, much like type 2 diabetes and prediabetes. In this video, I'm going to share with you how fatty liver develops and reveal the two primary culprits. Hey friends, welcome back to the Natural Diabetes Reversal channel. I'm Dr. Nicole Maholi, and this is your go-to channel for all things related to diabetes and prediabetes and how to reverse them naturally. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest insights and tips. Now, from my previous videos, you're familiar with insulin resistance as a precursor to diabetes. In order for insulin resistance to develop, there has to be a prolonged period of high insulin levels in the body. The technical term for high insulin levels in the blood is hyperinsulinemia. So for insulin resistance to develop, hyperinsulinemia has to be present. Guess what else hyperinsulinemia triggers? You guessed it, fatty liver. And fatty liver precedes insulin resistance. So it's really the first step in the development of prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. So how does hyperinsulinemia cause fat to accumulate in the liver? You might think that eating too much fat is what causes fatty liver, but that's not the case. Eating a high-fat diet with low carbohydrate and sugar intake does not noticeably increase liver fat production. High carbohydrate and sugar intake, on the other hand, can increase liver fat production by 10-fold. To grasp why high insulin levels contribute to fatty liver, let's first understand insulin's role in the body. When you eat carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose and fructose, the two main sugar molecules in your food. These sugars are absorbed from your digestive system into your blood. The increase in blood glucose levels from your meal stimulates the pancreas to release insulin. Insulin helps shuttle glucose into your cells for energy production. When your immediate energy needs are met, insulin tells the liver to convert the extra glucose into glycogen, which is the storage form of glucose. The body only has a limited capacity to store glycogen. So when those glycogen stores are full, insulin then tells the liver to convert the leftover glucose into fat in the form of triglycerides through a process called de novo lipogenesis, which is just a fancy term for fat production. The liver then takes the triglycerides, packages them up, and exports them to be stored in the body's fat tissue. So why does fat accumulate in the liver? Fat production is happening at such a rapid rate that the liver can't keep up with this export process, causing fat to accumulate in the liver. So this process explains why insulin causes fatty liver to develop. But there's one other thing that triggers non-alcoholic fat production in the liver. It's fructose. Unlike glucose, fructose does not considerably stimulate insulin release, and your cells can't use fructose as a fuel source. So the body has to convert fructose into something usable. And it turns out that the liver is the only place where fructose can be metabolized. When you consume fructose-rich foods, the fructose travels to the liver where it's converted into a fuel source the body can use, like glucose or glycogen, or it's converted directly into fat. Foods that are high in fructose include high fructose corn syrup, table sugar, honey, agave syrup, and fruit juices. Ultimately, the cause of fatty liver is repeatedly consuming large amounts of foods high in glucose and fructose. There's just too much glucose for the body to use or store, so the liver's converting that extra glucose into triglycerides as quickly as possible. But it can't keep up with the process of exporting it to the body's fat cells, so fat accumulates in the liver. If you want to know 3 steps that can reverse fatty liver, head on over to this video and I'll break it down for you. If this spurred any questions, let me know in the comments, but I hope you found this helpful. Thanks so much for tuning in, friends. I'll see you next time.